Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to Saturday Cup of Joe. I'd like to welcome those on Periscope as well. What we're doing today, we're going to interview a very amazing guy who does a lot of things behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, around the scenes, on the skateboard arena and all of that. You know, I feel like I need to start doing something different besides riding a bike because these guys are outdoing me. But anyway, I wanted to say hello to all you guys out there who is watching this live and those who's going to watch the replay as well. What an amazing week we've had. Lots of challenges, but I don't ever sweat on challenges because I just figure a way out. You know, when something hits me, I just figure out how I got to go around. I'm like a ninja, baby. You know how I am. Anyway, so guys, let's pay attention today because we're going to have some great content for you. We're going to be learning some amazing things about podcasting, video marketing, things you didn't even know about podcasts. I've learned now from reading my man's profile and all that. So today I want to welcome on a special guest, James Manning. This is a guy who I've met at some meetup groups here in Dallas. I've been telling you guys about, and I know he's got some amazing stuff to share with us. So let's sit back and relax and listen to this, and let's learn something today. What's up, James?
Lamb, what's up, man? You are too kind. Thank you so much for those kind words. I don't know how I'm going to live up to that, but, you know, that's amazing hype. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, yeah. You're the man. You're the man. So how long have you been in Texas?
Since 03.
03. Okay, cool. Where'd you come from then? Because I came from Arkansas. And
okay.
Since I moved here to Texas, I'm like, I'm never going back, man.
Well, I don't know if you can see back here. I got a picture of Kobe and Shaq. It might not be able to see it because of the glare, but I'm from Southern California. Yeah, we came out here. Me and my brother came out in 2003.
Nice. Southern California, man. That's another place I might want to go. You know, we travel a lot to California, and I'm kind of digging that place. But the 405 and all that stuff, no.
Yeah, it's nice to grow up there, you know. But yeah, I'm glad I'm here in Texas. It's a little bit more chill, and yeah, it's really kind of crazy over there. You know how that is.
It is. So, tell us a little bit about your company, man. Let us know a little bit about your company and how you started it. By the way, it's Royal Deca Designs. Wow, I love your website, man. I was like, what? Look at this, man.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, you can go to royaldeca.com, which is ROYALDECA. But yeah, it started with us making flyers for my band. Right. When I moved to Texas, I first, started playing music and playing in a band, and we were doing flyers and stuff. And from there, we kind of just kept doing artistic and creative things until now, I'm making videos and doing video marketing and stuff like that. So I don't know how exactly it happened, but that's where it started anyway.
Time out. You were in the band.
Yeah. I played guitar for a band called Haymarket, and, we didn't really tour a lot. We just kind of played around DFW area.
Right. Right. And for those of you that don't notice, that here in the DFWs, that's real popular. A lot of bands are playing at different spots. I used to work with a nightclub owner, and I would see various bands come in, and some pretty good bands. I'm surprised, So, yeah.
What area?
It was in the North Dallas area. Here in Dallas, off of Preston Avenue area. There was a nightclub there. Yeah, so we saw a lot of good guys come through there.
Awesome. Yeah, we played like more Deep Ellum, like Curtain Club, Trees. We went out to just different venues, the Door and stuff. But yeah, it was really good times. I slept on a lot of couches, and floors, but it was awesome. I was like a nomad around that time, but I was, doing the things that I really wanted to do, which was art and music. And I wasn't doing a lot of skateboarding at that time, but because I took a break from it. I was skating more in California. But yeah, that's where I started, I guess, the roots of the company, and then kind of started honing my design skills a little bit in building the brand. And now I have a few people that I work with, under Royal Decca, and it's awesome.
And notice keyword, a few people, and that means something because I know about you, James. Anyway,
well, I heard about you too from the Creators Club. Since you're there front row, like just there to soak everything in. So,
right?
Yeah.
So you guys were making flyers, and these flyers were to get people to come and see y'all, or what was going on? Tell me about these flyers that you had.
Yeah. So what we decided to do was, we're pretty DIY. We're all like skateboarders and stuff, so we want to do it ourselves. And we figured, okay, we're playing shows at these venues, and we would pay at least 50% to the venue, and the venues would call us and ask us to play their show, because we would always bring people. We would always flyer. We would make our own flyers and go to the malls and like just straight guerrilla style, just walking up to people and say, hey, what kind of music do you like? Oh, you're probably going to like this. So yeah, so we weren't really scared about shamelessly promoting ourselves, but it worked, and the venues ended up wanting us to play their venue because we'd bring people. And we figured out like, okay, we could actually bring people and just charge our own price, have it at a house, and make all the money.
Oh,
so that's what we started doing. And so we had like these like infamous shows in Rowlett and Garland where, we had about 200 plus people at a house, and the thing that made it successful is that we would, before the party, we would go and walk around and talk to all the neighbors, and we would let them know like, hey, on Saturday, we're going to have a party. Here's our phone number. We're going to pick up all the trash. We're going to make sure that no one damages anything. And, don't call the cops if it's too loud. Just call us, and we'll work it out. And that's how we were kind of successful with our parties, because we were able to have like a big group. And, we had people, my brother was running security. We had people down the street, doing parking cars, and we had, security in the front and the back, bouncer style, and we would mark people's hands if they were underage, and just real legit,
Goodness. Wow. Yeah.
So that's
you were doing the behind the scenes of a whole what happens when club owners, what they do when they're holding venues. You're doing all that behind the scenes by yourself. I mean, I take my hat off to you, man. You're going to the neighborhood saying, hey, we're going to have a party. You've been real legit about it,
Yeah, and we'd invite them.
They will accept that because you come out honest first, and you're telling what's going on. And maybe, you put say, hey, if y'all need a party one day, if you like our music, you can book us,
Dude, the cops even came sometimes. The cops would come, and we would turn them away because it's like, we got this. Like, we're not breaking any laws. It's before 10 o'clock, So yeah, it was awesome. So that was the start of us like figuring out events and how to start a business.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Wow. So, okay. So how did you get into video marketing then? Let's just skip all over that and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So I grew up skateboarding, right? So when I went to Podcast Movement, we had a skateboard podcast at that. Actually, we didn't have a podcast at that time, but we were thinking about it. So we went to Podcast Movement 2014. And when I first got there and I went up the escalator, I saw Jeremy Vest and right? So I saw them at their booth, and they had a skateboard deck on top of the table, and that just sucked me in, right?
That sucked you in. Yeah, if you're a skater, you're like, oh, let's go talk to that dude. He's talking to me subliminally.
Exactly. So I went up and I talked to him, and we really hit it off. And to make a long story short, he ended up hiring me because I was doing videos, skateboarding videos. I had my own business and podcast and stuff. So he gave me a shot, ended up hiring me, and that was actually the start of me doing video marketing.
Now you see, I done figured Jeremy out, and if you watching this, bro, I figured you out.
Yeah, he was headhunting.
Brains behind your business, which is awesome, man. So, I'm assuming you guys were videotaping, doing lots of tricks on your skates and all that, and I'm on your skateboards. And did y'all have a channel and all that set up as well?
No, I was always a background person, so I was contributing footage, and I was more of like a creative director when the videos would come out and stuff. Right. So there was videos called Shred the Multiverse that is on shredsocial.com. And they're kind of raw and really stupid, and kind of like if you're watching let's see, like Jackass back in the day, or right. Just pranks and stupid stuff. But we kind of would just do that, and I would always just film for people in the neighborhood.
Sweet. There's a lot you can do with that, man. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there that can be started with just doing the type of style of videos you just talked about. People in the mall being funny, showing pranks, or going to drive-throughs. I mean, it's crazy. There's a lot out there that could be done with what you're doing. And what's crazy is the majority of people out there will watch it.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I mean, we want to see people fall down and stuff like that. But what was interesting is that I found that skateboarders just have something extra, and it's not really something that's been talked about a lot up until recently. But I think that when you skate, it gives you this creative element, and it gives you this playground to play with, where you have music that goes with the skateboarding, you have art that goes with the skateboarding, and photography and videography, and you get all of these different people together. And it's just beautiful for any parent out there that is wondering, like, how do I make my child more interesting and creative and put them on a path to something they love? Give them a skateboard. Wow. I truly believe that skateboarders make the best business owners and creative people.
Nice. So you guys work with a lot of high-tier clients, and I've seen your work with VidPal. I've seen your work with what you're doing now. How do y'all track those high? Because you got to understand, my audience, they're more like video marketers. They're LinkedIn, and they're always trying to find new ways with videos and all that, because I believe videos, and it's just going to go forever. It's like in right now, it's the real deal. But how do you guys attract high-end clients? I mean, how are y'all going by doing that?
Yeah, VidPal, it's kind of crazy because we have these clients, right? We have Funimation, we have Learn Liberty, really good clients with really good videos already to start with. Yeah. But we're finding that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for that. They're looking for something to take their videos further. But then a lot of people are kind of further back where they don't know where to start. They don't even know what videos to make. So we're finding that balance between helping people make videos and then actually helping them market them. But to answer your question, finding them, the best source has been Jeremy speaking. So Jeremy Vest just spoke at VidCon 2015. And after that, after he spoke there, we had a lot of people coming up to us after that. We have Tube Talk, which is a podcast that happens once a week.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's a big tractor as well. So we're giving it away for free. We are teaching people how to do what we do. And because of that, people are interested whenever they can't do it all themselves. And so that's how we're actually attracting.
Right. You guys have had some phenomenal guests on there, man. I tuned in on a couple of those episodes and was just blown away. But y'all having a good time too. You're giving a lot of great content, but the education on that, I'm like, whoa, these guys are really doing it, man.
It's knowledge bombs, right? I mean, like I'm not on the show, so I help produce the show along with Travis Littig.
Right.
But we're entertained on the show, and then also, we get all this information that we get to write down because, like you said, they're talking to the best in the world. Jeremy Vest is an expert on all of this stuff, and then he's talking to other experts. So it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, man, yeah, I'm glad you said speaking because that brings up another subject with a buddy of mine, Owen, who has been speaking now, and his business is blowing up. People are coming up to him, like you said, because there's a lot out there who really don't know how to get started, you know. And if you give that little information that just clicks, they're like, "Whoa, hey, you know, tell me how to do this," you know. And
Yeah.
that is amazing. You know, that's good to hear that. Wow. And like I said, I like to say hello to everyone who's joined us here on Saturday Cup of Joe. We're talking to James Manning. We're talking about podcast movements, and we're talking about video movements and skateboard movements. We're talking about it all. Like, thank you guys for joining us. Back to what you do behind the scenes, because you said you are the creative part of that. How hard is it to get all of that done in a certain time frame? I know everybody's wanting their stuff like now, but do you find it comforting? Is it like a little stressful for you, or what goes on in your head when a project has to be done, you know, that's on the books?
Man, I wish I could say we always get it done on time, but I can't. You know, like it's really hard to have a regular schedule. And, you know, people are hungry for this information. So they actually check, you know, and that day, if it's not up, then
Right.
they're like, what's up? You know, like, what are you doing? But yeah, it's really hard because we have a couple of shows on a regular schedule like that. So my podcast that we do, and then Tube Talk. So it's kind of difficult and challenging, but dude, it's super fun. You know,
Right.
like you're constantly working towards something every week, and you're trying to make it better. And I feel like this past week was actually like our best episode, and it wasn't even us. It was Dane Golden who started the show.
Just
And dude, he's awesome, right? And
right.
he was just walking around VidCon talking to different experts. So super high level people that he's just rapping with in the hallway, you know, and asking them what they think is going on in video marketing today. So that is like, and that was a really fun show to do, because there's that, you know, ambient sound of people walking around and talking and stuff, and
Right.
you feel like you're there, you know. So that was really fun to do, and all of them are fun in their own way, because you get to create something, you know, you get to mold something out of nothing.
Tell us a little bit how big the Dallas areas is right now, and how many big time people we have here, man. I didn't realize that until I met you guys, you know, and I'm like, whoa, they're just, you know, I think Dallas is it's kind of small in a way, but I didn't know the caliber of high quality people that are doing video marketing in our area, man.
Yeah, it's epic, dude. And you know what? It's crazy because we're finding out more and more people. So, you know, there's all the people that you kind of already heard of, and then, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers, and then a lot of production companies and agencies are here. It's pretty crazy. Like, we didn't really understand what that was until we started Creators Club, which you know, you went to. And since then, we've had a lot of, you know, Geekbeat TV came through, Funimation came through. It was, let's see, Gary Leland and Fast Pitch TV came through. And who am I forgetting? I know there's more people, but yeah, and we're lining up the next. So we're like on summer break right now. You know, we're not doing the live sessions, and instead we're promoting the Facebook group. So if you wanted to, you know, join the group right now, perfect time, because we're giving it all away on Facebook for free. So you can go to Creators Club, which is creators with an 8, CRE8TOR.
Yep.
And join that Facebook group, because we're going to start actually doing more in Dallas. You know, I think that's going to come in the fall. So yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, the people that we're lining up now, you're going to be really happy with, I think. I can't say who they are. Yeah.
I was like, man, this is great content here. This is right in my backyard, you know?
Yeah, man. You were there every time too. And you were like asking asking really good questions and like just being really involved. So we're really thankful for that.
Oh yeah, man. I was like, wow, these guys are amazing. Yes, by the way, guys, if you're in my group, I will actually send you, you'll see on our Facebook. I'll send that out to you on the Facebook wall, and I might actually put that in the bio here as well with James on the Saturday Cup of Joe website, and we'll go from there too. But yeah, I'm in that group already, and I was like, yes, you know.
Yeah, because we're trying to make it so, you know, people aren't spamming and you know it's nothing crazy, but everyone's contributing what they're learning or a problem they have or a question they have, you know, and people are on it. Like, you know, like if you have a question about editing on Premiere, for example, you throw that question out there and you have top experts that are just ready to answer you.
Yes, yes. Very nice. So let's shift gears here. Let's talk about podcasting, you know. So you're involved heavily with podcasting with your own show. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, man. So I host a show called Skate to Create, and that's where we interview top experts in all kinds of different fields. So photography, it's skateboarding, maybe it's sports management, maybe it's business, you know, starting a business or entrepreneurship. And what we try to do is we try to deconstruct what they did and what they continue to do on a daily basis so that you can try to replicate that in your own life. And, you know, most of the time we're talking about skateboard related industry stuff, but, you know, it applies to any industry. You know, if you're learning a tool to help be more organized or help to be more creative, you know, it can go between all kinds of different industries. So that's what we try to focus on, and we try to help kids or help people be inspired to start something, you know, like their own project or business. So yeah, that's what we do, and I do that with my brother.
Nice. So do y'all guys have like a goal of certain type of people you want on the show, like, you know, Tony Hawk or anybody else that's big
yeah
guys?
Oh man, Tony Hawk would be awesome. And you know, we are working on that sort of thing. But yeah, we're starting season 2 in the next couple of months,
right?
And I think we're about to get to this like next tier of talent, you know, of influencers, and
yeah,
it's really exciting, man, because we were lucky enough to get a lot of really high influencers in the first season, but I think now it's kind of taking off a little bit. So we're gonna, you know, hopefully get people like Tony Hawk one day.
Dude, that would be epic, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw someone on LinkedIn that was working with him that I know. You know, I had a video project with him, so I think that's my way in. I'm gonna try to make LinkedIn work for me.
Right. That's amazing. So let me get back to my screen here. I was trying to get out of Facebook because sometimes I hear that noise and it just distracts me. All right, I'm back.
No problem. So how are you, man? Like what's going on with this podcast? I mean, I just love talking podcasts. So what's going on with this one?
We have been doing this for this is the second year, and I've been wanting to get it up and running. I just haven't found that thing yet. You know, you want that thing that you want to kind of, you say, yeah, this is it. You know, I could do this both. But right now, we're just kind of doing this via Hangout. And, you know, there's a lot that goes on the back end of podcasting, man. Most people don't realize that, you know. Producing it, getting it up and running, and scheduling shows. And I would wish I could schedule my shows in a certain way. I could do it during the week, but I think what I'm going to have to do is go back and start and cut all my shows in half and kind of do those first, and then start doing live on complete shows, and then go from there. That's the plan, you know, because I see you guys are doing a lot with podcasts, and I missed that event. That we just had. That was an event here in Fort Worth not too long ago, right?
Yeah, Podcast Movement 2015. Yeah, man.
Was out of town with the family.
Oh, it's okay. Well, you know what? There's a live video. There's a video pass that you can purchase, I think, where you get all the information, you get all the sessions. But yeah, that was epic, dude. I got to take a picture with Mark Maron, and he, you know, did a keynote interview, which was awesome.
Right.
I got to talk to a lot of people I really look up to, like Adam Sachs from Midroll Media. I didn't even recognize him when I met him, but yeah, because everyone's picture on their bio looks a little bit different than
a little different, right?
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy. We were volunteering. We were at the front desk, and we were taking all the registrants. So
right,
like it was hectic, dude. There was a bunch of people in front of us, just like funneled in, like, where's my ticket? Blah blah blah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
those things I heard, it's huge. I was talking to Gary about that. He was like, "Man, it's going to be huge this year," and
it was double.
Wow, that's crazy. So why is podcasting taking so? Why is it taking up so these days? Why is it getting so huge? I know a lot of people are trying to start that movement now, and I mean, give us a little bit insight on why podcasting is just hot right now.
Well, you know what it is? You know how like 10 years ago, people were saying that you should start a blog, and
right,
other people were saying, why? What's the point in starting a blog? That's what's going on right now with podcasting. And I really feel that most businesses and companies and personalities and athletes and all these people are going to start podcasts because it is very intimate.
True.
You're in someone's ear, you're in their head in a different way than video.
Right.
You're able to grab someone, you're able to hold someone's attention a little bit more that way. Advertising, I feel, is much better on podcasts than in video. Most of the time on video, you feel like you're being interrupted, but through podcasting, through like people endorsing a product or something like that, like it's different. It's just different. And the fact that more and more technology is catching up to
right.
the distribution of other technologies. So for example, in 2016, there's going to be more cars that have podcasts available in the dashboard.
Oh, that's funny you say that, because it was the movement of Siri and satellite and all that, Siri satellite. And here you go with something. I didn't even think about that, man. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And, that and phones, for example. So, more and more smartphones, the internet being opened up to more people around the world, all of these factors, and then, of course, the president being on a podcast. We just found out that Serial has 93 million downloads on their podcasts.
Wow.
So it's just growing, and it's because it's not as expensive to make. Bottom line, you can do a podcast and do it very inexpensively compared to doing video.
True. Very true.
And then the return is pretty good too. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. I'm a pretty big evangelist of podcasts, right, as you can tell.
Well, I was talking to Gary one day, and I love chatting with him because this guy,
it's awesome, right?
Gary, he's awesome.
Cracks me up.
I wish there was a word I could use for Gary to explain how he does business, because everything he touches turns to gold, man. And he's like, all you have to do is this, all you have to do is that, and that's it. And everybody's like, what? You did that?
This is all I do. All I do is this. I mean, that's that simple.
Yeah, that's what he says,
Yeah.
And you had no training. You're just doing that just because you think that works. It's like, yeah, that's what I do. But he was talking about how now he gives shout outs to certain companies in his niche, and they're paying him very handsomely just while he's on his shows. And he said, oh, by the way, blah, 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 blah. Or he's in a position now that they can pay him for just certain small things, And I'm like, wow, podcast is moving. This is it. Endorsements are crazy. I didn't realize how big they were.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like when you're driving to work, you can listen to a podcast and learn something or be entertained. When you're doing the dishes, when you're, at at school, at work. There's so many different times where you can actually listen to something and enjoy it versus you watching a video. You know, you can't really do work and watch a video at the same time. You can't really drive. I mean, you shouldn't be trying to drive and watch a video at the same time, you know?
Right.
So it's something that a lot of people don't know about yet. And so as more and more people get hooked on it, it's just going to keep growing.
Well, that's amazing, man. That's good stuff. And you know what? If a regular person wanted to start a podcast show and just get up and start talking to stuff, what will they need? Because this is something that some of our guys don't really know about, you know? Yeah.
Well, you could do it with just a laptop and or just your phone. There's always the like cheapest way to do it, but at the same time, you know, you want to have good quality when you can. And so we're actually going to come out with a way to start a podcast for under $50. Nice. That's going to be on our website soon. But until then, I mean, there's all kinds of information out there about how to actually start. You can literally just start with your phone. I mean, just recording on your phone and getting a pilot episode out is what I would recommend. You know, if you nice. Really just had nothing else.
Right. I have a buddy who is in the comic book niche, and they're blowing it up now, man.
Yeah.
They've been asked to do a lot of things, and they're traveling now and doing podcast shows at different locations. And I'm like, whoa, you're giving some of these guys exposures. That makes sense, you know?
Yeah. What's the show?
It's called Tim and Ray and somebody else. I don't know who the other guy is. I'm sorry, other guy. But, you know, hey, I just know Tim. That's my boy, you know?
Hey,
I'll figure it out.
Hopefully he'll put it in the comments or something. We'll be able to look it up.
Yeah. But they are doing, man, a phenomenal job. It's amazing how big it's gotten now. And I'm like, whoa. So, you know, I've learned now over the last few months that podcast is really becoming a huge thing, you know, and I'm glad I'm in a position that I'm able to do it as well. And this is just something that I just noticed that everyone ought to consider thinking about, you know, doing if you have something or a topic or something that you're expert in your field to do, because it's amazing. I know, like Joe Rogan, if you don't know Joe Rogan's part of everything, but this guy is killing it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, his podcasts are epic, man. Like the way when he's talking to like a scientist or like a doctor or something like that, it's so entertaining, and you actually like sit there for like 3 hours. You're like, man, I just listened to something for 3 hours. Wow.
3 hours. And you get hooked because the content they're giving, you're like, okay, what is he gonna say? You know, and the guy's on point. I mean, what was that show he used to do on TV? What was that called?
Oh, Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. I forgot the show, but now I know Joe Rogan's doing podcasts. He's on the what's that show they fight all the time?
Yeah, UFC.
UFC.
They fight all the time.
Yeah, but I know him as the podcasting king. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? And that's another thing that you just reminded me of another major reason why people should listen to podcasts.
See?
Is because you can actually hear a conversation. You know, like most of the time when you're watching people interview, it's on a night, you know, like on a talk show, or it's in little 2-minute to 5-minute chunks with a commercial break, and then they switch topics, and you don't really get anywhere, you know? No. Like, so when you listen to a podcast, you actually get to hear what people think. You know, that's one of the major things that people said about the Mark Maron podcast, where he was talking to the president. People realize like, oh, I remember why I like this guy, or, you know, I forgot what he actually was like, or just certain things like that, where you actually, that's the reason they did it. You know, that's exactly why Obama did that, is because he knew that podcasting was really good for helping your audience get to know you.
Wow.
Is what we're all trying to get, right?
Yep, yep. And that's, like I said, I don't forgot about Fear Factor and the other show, but I know Rogan from his podcast, and it flips me out because I'll see him on TV. I'm like, what's Joe Rogan doing on TV? Yeah. He's a podcast. You're not supposed to be on TV. Awesome, man. So what do you see the future for? So is there going to be video podcasts together or just going to be simply podcasts by itself? What do you see the future going with this?
Well, right now there are a few video podcasts, and then it is growing, but it's much smaller than audio podcasts. So right now there's a lot of opportunity in video podcasts, but it's a little bit harder to do than an audio. There's more production that has to go into video. So for right now, there's always, in my mind, there's always going to be a place for video, and that's going to keep growing. But I think we're going to see more and more players pop up in the video podcast realm. I don't know. I think so. Like, for example, Tube Talk, we do both. We have a video on YouTube, and then we have that same audio for the purists, that want to keep it just audio. So I think we're going to see a lot of that going on, and that's actually a really good way to do it because you can shoot the video and then you strip the audio and put out a podcast for the people that are going to find you on iTunes or SoundCloud or wherever else. Right.
Let me ask you this. Would this be a perfect example for let's just say an offline business, like a lawyer to do and go and create something for them to get them to start being more involved in the world, trying to get that national recognition? What do you think about that?
I think every company is going to realize that they should start a podcast, because if you take that lawyer example, there's so many different things that they can do that people would want to listen to. They can make a podcast that's strictly for other lawyers. They can make a podcast that's for people that enjoy law, that are studying, or people that are just entertained by it, the people that would watch Perry Mason or something, there's all kinds of different types of things that you can do, just depending on what your goal is. Is it to sell more things? Is it to build an audience? It just depends. But I think everyone honestly needs to. And what we do right now is we offer consulting to help people. But honestly, we can help you for free. There's all kinds of different things to help you start a podcast if you don't have one, or maybe even help you monetize if you already do have one.
Right. Nice, man. You gave me like heebie-jeebies in my chest because that gave me an idea what to do with certain people offline business and kind of getting them to get into the movement. Because if they see it and, they want to be recognized, and if they're able to commit to so much time during the week and talk, and you set it up for them. So I'm always thinking about business stuff, man.
Absolutely. But yeah.
Set it up for them. And wow, that'd be amazing, because what if you can just go in their office and each week and set it up for them? Because you don't want them doing it by themselves. You want to be able to do it for them, And that would be the perfect way to have a conversation with some of these guys, Hey, have you ever started about doing a podcast show? And they'll be like, podcast? I love that, man.
I mean, wow. think about it. Like, how many times do you have people Googling what a lawyer would be able to answer? You could take it topic by topic, like, you know what I mean? Like the things that people are interested in.
Go Google that and find the topics and give it to them. This is what people are asking for.
There it is.
I love it, man. I love it. Wow. So on your own podcast show, you guys have been going. This is your second season, right?
We're going to finish our season 1 in a few more episodes, and then we're going to launch season 2 probably September.
Nice. Well, congratulations on that, man. I know you guys are going to continue to do big things. How do you balance all of this together? Because you're a busy man.
Dude, I don't know, but it's really fun, man. So I don't consider it work. So if I just keep telling myself that, I don't get stressed out.
Nice. Now, are you going on location with VidPow when they go shoot and all these different things as well?
Sometimes, sometimes like we have a client, American Home Shield, where we're on location shooting how-to videos. You know, they do like home repair stuff.
Right.
So sometimes, but and then we have like a skateboard event on the 15th that we're gonna shoot. But I'm not really shooting. You know, I'm kind of just again behind the scenes, just pointing and you know, getting people water.
Man. That's the best part, man.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun, man. But the events are really cool, and I think we're gonna start doing more and more like what you're doing, you know, periscoping and doing more live feed stuff.
Right. Wow, man, this has been exciting, man. Awesome job.
Dude, thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your nonprofit you were talking about?
Yeah, it's called 4Down Project. So 4DWN Project. And they came to us at a skate event and, you know, said, I guess they heard about Royal Deca and which was awesome because that's like the best thing to hear, you know. And I was really honored because these guys are like professional, you know, they were professional skateboarders and they decided to help their community. And it's Mike Crum, Rob Cahill, and I think Kareem Campbell. So these are like, you know, really epic guys, and they wanted to work with us on helping with filming and doing video production and stuff with their nonprofit. And it lined up perfectly with what we're doing because they're trying to help skateboarders. We're trying to help skateboarders. So it's really exciting to be able to kind of align with a nonprofit really, you know, so perfectly. And so I don't know exactly what we're going to start doing with them, but we just had an event. It was called the 4Down Block Party, and we wrote about it on our blog, so you can check that out there. But yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do yet, but it's 4Down Project, and we're happy to do it.
Yes, man, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, man. You deserve it. You're a busy man. You deserve it.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I tell you what, man, good things come to those who are busy. And I know when you said that certain thing a while ago, people were Googling that a while ago, and I was thinking, I bet our guys is all over that. Real quick, are you going to the Vid Summit this year?
No, but Jeremy Vest is, and he's going to be speaking there as well.
Right. Awesome.
So say what's up to him.
Yeah, I'm still trying to see if I can make that last-minute trip. I've got guys coming here to Dallas for fantasy football and all that stuff that I committed to, and I'm like, that's bad timing, man. Yeah. And I don't get to see my boys that often. They get on me for being gone all the time anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Jeremy will give you the slides.
Yep. Awesome. Well, how can we find you again, my man?
Go to either vidpow.com, that's VIDPOW.com, and either talk to me about video production, video marketing over there. If you want to talk podcasting, it's Royal Deca, ROYALDECA.com.
Very nice. Sweet. Well, man, it's been awesome, and I do appreciate you coming on here. This has been great content, man. I love it.
I think so, dude. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you reaching out, and this has been really fun. Thank you.
Yes. And guys, if you want to watch the replay, go to SaturdayCupandJoe.com. Look on all the previous episodes, and you'll see our man James on there. And also, if you have questions, go to the right of the website and click on the message microphone. Ask questions. You know how to reach out to James. Don't spam him. He's busy, guys. Okay? I'm sure he will give you some very good insight. Also, go to the Creators Club that we'll have on the Facebook page, and you can go in there and try to join. I'm sure they are going to look at you and monitor you and give you all the security you need to make sure you're not going to come in the group and corrupt it. Because I already know from these guys, they have high caliber marketers in there, and it's nothing but great information. Like I always tell Jeremy, y'all should be charging for this.
Well, we got to give it away for free first. Right.
That's some great stuff. And check out Tube Talk as well. Man, I think I've covered it all. Anyway, Once again, guys, thanks for jumping on the show today. We'll see you again next week. And James, once again, man, this has been awesome. Thanks, buddy, and I appreciate you, man.
I'm honored. Thanks, man. Have a great night.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend and have an awesome Sunday. We'll talk to you soon.